Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the vlog. Man, UPS just drove off after delivering one of the most beautiful pieces of titanium exhaust engineering that exists for the RS6. Guys, I literally just crossed 100 miles on this car, and I'm so excited because today we are actually going to let that 4.0 liter twin turbo V8 breathe a little bit more. One thing that is somewhat underwhelming about the RS6, and quite literally the only thing that I can think is kind of underwhelming about the RS6, is the fact that the exhaust is so muffled. Today, we're gonna change that. Now, before we get any further, guys, I just wanna let you know that 20 times entries are live for Misfit and $30,000 cash. So if you guys wanna get entered while the max multiplier for this entire giveaway is live, tap that link below and grab some entries because this satin red chrome AT4 DURTYMAX and $30,000 cash could, if you choose to get entered, be yours.
Keeps getting better.
So for those of you guys that missed the video, I just picked up a 2022 RS6 Avant. It's a wagon, and it is absolutely epic. It's one of my dream cars. I'm so excited about it, and we've got a slew of mods that are on the way as we speak. So I challenge you to this. If you've never looked at a wagon and said to yourself, I can see myself in it, well, this might be the wagon that you end up seeing yourself in. You guys are gonna have to stay tuned with the series of stuff that I have planned for this car, because it is going to go from very stock to very not, very progressively. We've got everything already en route, from wheels to aero to exhaust, and a whole bunch of other things I'm extremely excited about. But today we are going to be livening up the 4-liter twin turbo V8 that we've got. All right, guys, so I'm gonna jump straight to the point. We've got a Capristo quad carbon angle tip exhaust that's fully titanium for the RS6 Avant, and it is going to liven up this platform so unbelievably much. I need to give a huge shout out to Capristo out of Florida for coming through big time with this exhaust. No, it is not a sponsored video by any means. Yes, I did purchase this exhaust. I chose Capristo for 2 reasons. One, because they make the RS6 Avant sound absolutely incredible, and 2, I have previous experience with Capristo on my Audi R8. We had the Valvetronic exhaust that opened up that 5.2 liter V10, and it literally created a symphony of the gods. The harmonies that were produced from that V10 were incredible. So when I picked this car up, I immediately jumped to YouTube, typical, and I started listening to exhaust. I listened to Capristo, I listened to Miltech, I listened to an ABT exhaust, and I found the following. So Capristo I wasn't in love with because it has oval tips, and I personally am not a fan of the factory oval tips. That's in 2 reasons. One is because Audi actually got rid of oval tips and then they brought them back. I guess some of the true Audi fans really missed them. I did not have oval tips on my 2nd gen R8, which I love. They were more rectangular. One of the things that I don't like about this car is that it has oval tips. So we had to get rid of that, and Capristo maintains the oval tips, although they are carbon fiber, but that exhaust is a little bit too muffled and it's somewhat underwhelming, although the exhaust is very beautiful. Number 2 was Miltech. They're actually mufflers up until the beginning of the tips themselves. So what Miltech does is that you actually delete out the factory muffler, and then you just add the Miltech muffler, but you maintain this big oval. And I'm not a fan of that. Plus, it didn't look very finished. And the sound, yes, was great. It's just the overall fit and finish was not there. I didn't like it. I wasn't sold. Then there's ABT. They make a really, really nice exhaust. It is a quad tip, kind of like the Capristo. It's just that it's kind of somewhat raspy. I didn't really like the overall audible note of the exhaust. I didn't feel like it was pure and crisp the whole way through. And then that brought me to Capristo. Now, I am biased, obviously, but I have them in their exhaust. The fit and finish was incredible, and I absolutely love the team at Capristo. So when I got to listening to this thing, it satisfied all those needs. Not only was it titanium, not only did it have quad carbon fiber tip, but it also sounds absolutely freaking incredible. And that's where we're gonna give you guys a quick little before of stock, and then after, once we've got this Capristo exhaust installed. I'm really excited about this video, guys. Let's get it started. All right, guys, take notes. This is a quick before of an all-stock Audi RS6 exhaust. right, guys, we got Josh on the camera here. I'm gonna give you a small little inside sound clip as well. Nice gimbal work, bro. Nice gimbal work. That's about as loud as we'll be able to get this thing. So now we're gonna head back up to the shop and we're actually gonna take this exhaust off. And what great timing, Josh, to do the before accelerations, huh?
That'll be hot.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little hot. It's gonna be just a little bit hot, but hey, that's how good of a planner I am. All right, boys, let's get it started. Has an RS6 Avant or an RS7, just be prepared to battle where the downpipe and cats meet the rest of the exhaust. These 3-bolt flanges right here are basically mashed between the motor and the firewall. They're not so easy to get out. But let's take a look at this real quick. Here's one muffler. There's another muffler, and then there is the massive connected muffler to completely quiet down this car. Why would we ever want to do that to a 4-liter twin-turbo V8? I don't, which is why I'm making this video. I also have no idea what I'm gonna do with that exhaust. I feel like I should keep it. Jake agrees. We'll probably never touch it again.
Yeah, I mean, I don't particularly see the market for...
We're gonna put it into the oh-so-everly massive truss overhead storage area we have in this building. And we'll probably stay there forever. All right, guys, so before we do anything, Jake's actually gonna work on some juicy B-roll here, but I want to get you guys an after shot. So to reiterate, there are no mufflers other than the titanium canisters that connect to the quad carbon tip Capristo angle cut ends. They look sick. This car looks so much better with those exhausts versus that exhaust there, the oval things, they just don't cut it for me. Start it up, the valves are gonna be closed, and then we're gonna open the valves, we're gonna give some revs. We're only limited to, I think, 3,000. I don't even know how to get the car to rev past 3,000 RPMs. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I'm an expert in anything, but you're gonna notice the sound difference. It sounds nice. Real nice. Immediately notice that it sounds way deeper and way cleaner. It's so much throatier. It's got so much more bass. But I think you guys will really be able to tell when we get this thing out on the road, because I want to rev it up further. It's just too new. I don't know how. But sounds way better. DOS exhaust?
DOS exhaust.
That right there, ladies and gentlemen, is the Capristo carbon angled quad tip exhaust for the Audi RS6, and the fit and finish of it is fantastic. Capristo uses it's pretty cool. I was reading a little bit into the company after I had purchased with the Capristo exhaust. They actually use this computer software to visually engineer the cavities in which their titanium exhaust systems will fit and finish into, and I'll tell you what, the fit and finish is amazing. I like how it's got Capristo there in the carbon of the actual quad tip. Cleans up very nice, lets you know. It's very subtle though. The quad tip on the back of these RS6s looks way better in my personal opinion versus that of the oval tips. The oval tips are kind of just faux tips anyway. They're really not the best looking things in my opinion, versus this, it's way more aggressive, and the fit and finish was just incredible. The installation, I'm gonna give Capristo a 9 out of 10. Some of the directions were just a little wishy-washy, but it was only because there's a big translation from Italian to English. You can tell that somebody with very broken dialect actually wrote it, but it's all good. We figured it out. Luckily there were pictures, that helps a ton. And overall, it took us probably about 6 hours, mostly because we were hung up there with removing those elbows from the downpipes. It was like extension on extension on extension with a swivel socket, tight nooks and crannies, but we were able to get it done. Now, in the instance of high flow cats, we would be able to get this thing tuned and it would make considerably more horsepower. I would say right now, as far as horsepower with this exhaust, not all that much. It probably makes incremental gains, but not anything crazy. Although the visceral experience of the audible notes has improved the entire driving experience tenfold, because this car was entirely too quiet factory. So thank you guys tremendously for the excitement and support of the RS6. I know that these wagons aren't the typical sports car, but I like to be everything other than typical. I really cannot wait to show you guys what we're gonna do with suspension on this car, wheels on this car, and other mods on this car that are going to take an already pretty aggressive looking vehicle, very, very wide at that. This thing's road presence is insane, and making it look legitimately 10 times better. And if you're in the market shopping for an exhaust, obviously do your research, look up some of those other brands that I had mentioned. Truthfully, make the decision for yourself, but in my personal opinion, you can't go wrong with these guys. That's where we're gonna wrap up this video, ladies and gentlemen. Grab your entries for this satin chrome red AT4 DURTYMAX and $30,000 cash if you would like a chance to take it home and join our 25th spot in the winner's circle.